Welcome to Rising with Soccer.
Hello, everyone. Coming to the first semi-final game in Euro 2020, that is Italy versus Spain. The game will be played at Wembley Stadium, London, so it's a neutral venue. Let's look into lineup and formations for both teams. Uh, Italy will be going with the 4-3-3 formation with Donnarumma in goal. Chiellini and Bonucci will be starting as the centre backs. With the right wing back, we will be having Di Lorenzo. On left wing back role, we will be having Emerson instead of Spinazzola, as Spinazzola got injured in game against Belgium. Achilles tendons broken, so he is having a surgery and he will be out for 6 months. So Emerson will be starting all the games from here on for Italy. Then coming to the midfield trio for Italy, we will be having Jorginho in CDM role. In cam roles, we will be having Verratti and Barella. And looking at the wingers, we will be having Insigne in left wing. On right wing, we will be having Berardi. And on striker role, we will be having Ciro Immobile. Then looking at the Spain formation, Spain will also go with the same 4-3-3 formation with Unai Simon in goal, Laporte and Pau Torres as centre backs. And on right wing, we'll be having Azpilicueta. And on left wing, we'll be having Jordi Alba. Coming to the midfield trio, I guess the same midfield trio will be used of Sergio Busquets, Pedri, and Koke. On wingers, we will be having Ferran Torres and Dani Olmo. Both players are looking fine, and striker will be Morata. Looking into the key tactical battles we will be seeing here. First one will be Morata versus Bonucci and Chiellini. Morata plays for Juventus. Chiellini and Bonucci also play for Juventus. So both of these defenders know how Morata's movements are and how Morata is dangerous. And I think Bonucci and Chiellini, any one of them can mark him, and they will be having an upper hand against Morata. Looking at the right wing role, where Ferran Torres will be starting for Spain. He will be up against Emerson. So Emerson will be has played only 100 minutes in this Euro 2020. That means 90 minutes of one normal game and one game for substitute as a 10-minute rule. So it will be very difficult for Emerson to get into this game, but still. He is a good player. He has won Champions League with Chelsea this season, and he is a very experienced player. So it will be a good tactical battle to watch. But Emerson will be a little bit shaky because a semi-final is very um high stake game, and he is pushed into that. So it will be difficult for him. Then looking at the left wing, as we have already looked into many times, like Dani Olmo and Jordi Alba will be bombarding Di Lorenzo, and Di Lorenzo is kind of a weak link of Italy because whenever Spinazzola used to attack, only three-man defense used to remain for Italy with Chiellini, Bonucci, and Di Lorenzo. But now Di Lorenzo will be bombarded with Dani Olmo and Jordi Alba, and both of these players are very good. Their link-up play is very good, and they will be most of the attacks of the Spanish team will be coming from this wing only, because and also they have Pedri in this year in this position whenever they will be attacking. So you can see these trio is very difficult to handle for Italy, to be honest, because Nicola Barrera likes to attack. Even Berardi likes to attack. I know both these players come to defense also, but they will be having a tough time to cope these Pedri, Alba, and Daniel Mo link up play. And looking at this, I'm seeing Koke versus Jorginho will be happening. And Koke is a very industrious player. He can run a lot. He can pass the balls. He is good in link up plays. He can give the through balls. He can push the balls in these kind of spaces where uh, the wingers can get the ball and cross into the box. Otherwise, he can also good have a link up play, 1-2 touches, and he can also get into the box and shoot the ball. So it most of the things I guess Jorginho need to cover up for Koke, and I think Jorginho will be easily having upper hand against Koke because he is a good player, and Jorginho has proved his mettle in this game. So we can see here. Mostly, Danny Olmo will look to cut in because Jordi Alba likes to stay out winger and cross the ball. So we can see Bonucci versus Danny Olmo, Chiellini versus Morata, Di Lorenzo versus Jordi Alba, and looking at here Pedri versus Nicola Barrera. Barella has good experience, but Pedri is a very also good player. So it will be a good battle to see on on the pitch. Then looking at the Insigne versus Aspilicueta, both of these players have very much good quality players. Insigne is not that fast as Spinazzola, and Spinazzola would need some kind of support from Marco Verratti in this wing if at all they want to exploit Azpilicueta. But Azpilicueta is still a good defender. He can play as a centre back also. So whenever Jordi Alba will be attacking, that time Spain will be looking into three-man defense with Azpilicueta coming as a right centre back, and Insigne will be attacking from this wing, and Marco Verratti will be here to support him. And mostly Ciro Immobile will take place between Pau Torres and Laporte. Ciro Immobile did not had a great tournament, but he is still very dangerous player. He can cut the lines, he can switch his positions, he can play wide also and provide a crosses. So it will be a good game. And again, Berardi is also a dangerous player, because if these three players link up in this area, and if at all these three Spanish players come into that, like Busquets will be looking for Verratti, Espilicueta looking for Insigne, and Pau Torres will be or Laporte will be looking for Ciro Immobile. That time this Berardi will be having a lot of space on right side, and easily Verratti or Insigne can switch the play and provide the ball to Verratti, whereas he can obviously control the ball and seek Pau Torres inside, and a lot of space will be created where Verratti can also come into the game. Insigne can also come into the box to take the shot. So it's really very good battle. So looking overall, the game will be very neutral, and I think Italy will be coming out as winner to go into the finals. But let's see. I'm hoping for a great semi-final. And Wembley Stadium, London. Players to watch will be Marco Verratti from Italy, because he will be up against Busquets, because he is a creator kind of a player, and Busquets also very good brain of the Spanish team, just like Jorginho. So he will be like to cut off Verratti. So Busquets versus Verratti will be seeing, and Pedri versus we will be seeing Barella or Lorenzo, according to how Spain go into this game about winning. I think Italy has been phenomenal in attacking as well as defense, and I am hoping Italy will be winning this game with a 3-1, because Spain has scored a lot of goals in this tournament, but still they are kind of a toothless. They take many shots, but shot conversion rate into goals is very less. If we see Belgium versus Italy game, they conceded a penalty and considered the goal on penalty. So it's not an open play score which they conceded. And looking at Barella got his first goal, Insigne got his second, third goal here. And if you see, Italy was more attacking than Belgium. 14 shots, 3 on target. Accuracy is less, but still they were kind of taking their chances of shooting the ball. So looking at passing accuracy also, they were better than Belgium side. Looking at the fouls, lesser fouls considered, because they were having a lot of ball position, so they didn't need to make tactical fouls to stop the transitions. Looking at the corners, Belgium had 9 corners and Italy has 5. So good overall. And looking at Switzerland versus Spain quarterfinal, we can see Remo Freuler got a red card at 77th minute, and the match went into penalties. That means 13 minutes plus 30. That is 43 minutes. Switzerland was one man shy. Still, Spain could not score against them. That is really bad. If they are not able to take uh, opportunities like this, where for 43 minutes their team was having one man more and still they couldn't score, that means it's very shameful for them. And don't see Italy will be committing any kind of a challenge which will be given as a red card. So Spain needs to somehow get their clinical striking in this game if at all they want to go into the finals. Looking at the shots, we can see 28 shots, 10 on target. Possession was 73%. In this game also, both teams will be looking for the possession of the ball, and Spain, I think, will be having more of possession. Passing accuracy is 90%. You can see if the game was won on the passing accuracy and passes, Spain would have been the champion, but the game is won by scoring the goals. So Spain need to score goals and they need to be clinical strikers of the ball. And looking at the fouls, obviously, see they are having 90%, 73% ball position. Still, they considered 14 fouls. Means they like to take the ball as soon as they lose the ball. They like to recover, and for that purpose, they do the fouls. So you can see that is what the stat shows. And looking at the corners, they got 13 corners. If at all your team is getting 13 corners and you are only able to score one goal, it's a very shameful stat, to be honestly seeing in that. And looking at the last 4 matches between Italy and Spain, we can see Italy versus Spain, one draw, two draw, one loss for Italy, and one loss for Spain. So it's a kind of 1-1. And going into the game, mostly Italian side has never won against Spain in these kind of competitive games. But and the most recent was like Euro 2012 final between Italy versus Spain, and Spain won that game with a 4-0 scoreline. But still, anything can happen. Italy took their revenge of that 2012 final in European UEFA Euro 2016, where Italy won the game by 2-0. And I'm hoping this game also is won by Italy with a scoreline of 3-1. And looking at the stats here, we can see tournament stats. Spain is having high turnover. Shots ending at halftime is high for Italy. Goal ending at halftime is having Italy leading their pressing sequence. You can see Spain, whenever they lose the ball, they try to recover the ball instantly. So that needs to be seen. And build-ups, you can see 34 build-ups. Build-up goals is one. You can see Italy likes to direct attack. They have 12 direct attacks, but not a single goal. That means their strikers are also not that clinical whenever they required. And looking at the passes, also Spanish team is obviously better in passes. So it will be a kind of a neutral game where it will be a challenging game. If at all Spain gets their shots converted into goals, it will be a great game. But if at all the way they are playing right now, I don't see they going into finals. And I hope Italy will be winning this game. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned.